Hi, it's Cam here. Hey, this video is going to be a few minutes longer than usual, so please hang in there. Really important topic. I want to share with you a story that you may not have heard about. Canadian senators are debating universal basic income legislation right now. The bill seeks to employ the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, that we know her, who is also on the board of trustees for the World Economic Fourm, to develop the framework for the project. I'm already inspired. Lightsite News reported that the Canadian Senate is currently in the second reading session for a bill that seeks to develop a national framework for a guaranteed livable basic income. Basically, welfare for life, folks. Amid the chaos of Canadian politics in recent months, the Senate proposed and is now in the second reading of Bill S-233. The bill, if passed, would require the Minister of Finance to develop a national system to provide guaranteed livable basic income to everyone in Canada over the age of 17. So basically, we're going to buy everybody's vote that's over 17. The minister must develop a national framework for the implementation of a guaranteed livable basic income program throughout Canada for any person over the age of 17, including temporary workers, folks who just got here, okay, permanent residents, and refugee claimants. So refugee claimants, temporary workers, new to Canada, haven't paid any taxes, but hey, guess what? We're just going to dole you out cash. Reads the text of the bill, which was first introduced in the Senate in December of last year. In developing the framework, the minister must consult with the Minister of Health, the ministers responsible for employment, social development and disability, representatives of the provincial governments responsible for health, disability, education, and social development, Indigenous elders, Indigenous governing bodies, and other relevant stakeholders, including policy developers and political decision makers, as well as experts in other guaranteed livable basic income program, adds the bills. So the talking heads are going to talk to the talking heads, the elected civil servants are going to talk to the non-elected civil servants, and they're all going to decide collectively how to waste your money. Makes sense to me. According to the bill's text, some of its goals are to create national standards for health and social support, as well as a data gathering measure to determine what constitutes a livable basic income for each region in Canada, by taking into account the goods and services that are necessary to ensure that individuals can lead a dignified, now remember, it's whose definition of dignified, and healthy life. Well, what defines healthy? As well as the cost of those goods and services in accessible markets. The bill is still in its early stage, thank God, and for it to pass, it would need to be approved by the Senate and then go to the House of Commons to be approved there as well. While inflation and high cost of living is seen as a problem within Canada and the Western world more broadly, I wonder why. Could it be the last 2 years? Many are skeptical of such an approach because it would result in massive government intervention and control over personal finances. I don't know when that stopped these guys. They don't mind either of those two. In fact, the bill seeks to employ the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, now there's an oxymoron for a name, as the head of the project, who earlier this month took the unprecedented step of demanding that banks freeze the accounts of anyone involved in the Freedom Convoy protests in Ottawa without a court order. So she totally believes in the rule of law. Beautiful. Freeland is also a member of the Board of Trustees for the World Economic Fourm. WEF should be known as WTF. The group behind the now infamous Great Reset, an agenda that critics say seeks to install a global system similar to that of China's social credit system. Actually, I'd say critics aren't saying it. These folks are saying it. They've got it published all over their website. According to prominent retired American politician Ron Paul, implementing a universal basic income is one of the major goals of the WEF's Great Reset Globalist Socialist Plan. Wonder why? When they own your soul, you're going to do what they want. The Great Reset involves a huge expansion of the welfare state via a universal basic income program. This can help ensure compliance with the Great Reset's authoritarian measures, Paul wrote last year, adding that the authoritarian measures outlined in the Great Reset include a dramatically expanded surveillance state via real-time tracking. That's how they're going to do this phone thing. And I guarantee if they do this, you're probably going to have to use your phone or a scanner or a code just to get your check every month. The use of brain scans and nanotechnology to predict and, if necessary, prevent non-government approved behavior. Non-government approved. And digital certificates in order to travel. I'm assuming non-government approved was probably the truckers and the protests, right? It's probably non-government. The WEF envisions an authoritarian system where big business acts as a partner, okay, with government, Big business would exercise its government-granted monopoly powers. Never go wrong with monopoly powers. Those things always end well. To maximize value for stakeholders instead of shareholders. Stakeholders. I wonder if that'd be like George Soros, Bill Gates. I'm guessing they're probably stakeholders. Stakeholders include, oh, hang on, they give us a list. Stakeholders include the government, international organizations, the business itself, and civil society, explained Paul. Okay, well, so I'm going to get to be a stakeholder? But wait a minute, I'm not the one getting paid. I'm the one doling money out. Well, I guess I'm still a stakeholder. He added that, actually, I'm a stakeholder, but I don't get to eat the steak. I get to pay for it. He added that the disastrous response to COVID is just the latest example how those who give up liberty for safety or health will end up unfree, unsafe, and unhealthy. Seems like a good motto for all governments across the land. The retired congressman concluded, instead of a great reset of authoritarianism, we need a great rebirth of liberty. Hear, hear, sir. Who would disagree with that statement? So, in a nutshell, what's the purpose of this thing? The purpose of this thing is to buy votes. The people that are in charge, the elected civil servants that are running the show, they want to buy the votes of young people starting at 17 and tell them, hey, sit on your ass. You don't have to do any work. We're here to look after you. We're going to have this other group of people who are going to work their ass off and they're going to support you. That sort of sounds like communism and socialism, and that kind of the motivation starts dying out after a while because you're like, why should I pay for Uncle Leroy who sits on his couch all day smoking pot and doing jack shit? No, it doesn't fly that way. So what you need to do, folks, is you need to get a hold of your senators, you need to go get a hold of your MPs, and you have to say, stop the insanity. There used to be a lady who did fitness, Susan Powder, I think was her name. She always used to yell, stop the insanity. Well, guess what? It's about time we stop the insanity. These people have gone too far as usual. And what they're hoping is that nobody will be paying attention. It's the old sleight of hand. Look over here. Look at Ukraine. Look over here. Look at what's going on over here. Forget what we're doing here. So now that you're aware of this, share this video with other friends. Get a hold of senators. Tell these people, hell no, we won't pay anymore. We have no money left. We're broke. And newsflash, if you didn't know, Canada's broke. We got a huge freaking deficit after the last 2 years. We're spending money we don't have. We're taxing generations into oblivion. And these clowns want to spend more of that money. And we want to put somebody in charge who believes in shutting down your bank account if she doesn't agree with your policies. Come on, folks, give your head a shake. Any party, any individual, any MP, any politician who supports this should be thrown out on their ass. And maybe, you know what? Hey, I got an idea. Maybe we could get them to live on the basic minimum amount that was due. It's probably only a tenth of what they're already getting. Anyway, just wanted to share this. I know the video's gone a little long, but I thought it was well worth you knowing what's going on. Get engaged, get active. You've woken up. You're more alert as to what's going on. Contact your MPs today. Share this with friends. And please share any comments that you have for me. I love reading them, and I just, we're here as warriors in the same fight. So let's keep on going.